know from the convention were coming up. Like I seen Rico, said hi to him. And then I was like, whatever, I got to get over there and find a spot and a drink. So as I'm like getting ready to leave, this tiny little girl, like yay high, like just comes up to me and does the cute little kid thing, like waves her hand. And I was like, hi, oh my God, you're so cute. And then she like pointed at her jersey. It was a Dak jersey. And she was like, and I was like, oh, do you know whose jersey that is? And her mom like comes out of nowhere and is like, yeah, she sure does. And he totally snubbed us. We waited here for 4 hours. And I'm like, first of all, she absolutely can't even say mama yet. She does not know whose jersey that is. Second of all, you do realize that they just got done working. Like, that's actually their place of employment, that the organization has generously opened its doors to y'all to flow free. And your biggest complaint is that you waited for 4 hours for a signature. Like, he's so rude. No, he's not. He's not rude. He just worked out for 3 hours. That's not rude. That's actually, I'm done working now and I'm going to go try not to pass out standing in front of all my fans.
As I got done teaching today, there was a line of 3 people waiting for my autograph, and I signed everyone. I didn't make them wait.
Not all heroes wear capes.
I know.
But sometimes, like, you're trying to catch a player when there's 10,000 other people trying to catch him too. Like, it drives me insane. Why are people like that? Why are y'all like that?
It's more fun when I run into them at a martini bar and just able to chit chat with them while they're just relaxing.
Right? No, but this lady was so upset. I'm like, man, your daughter has no idea like, what is going on here. I promise you. Like,
and
relax.
She won't even remember this. You will, but she won't.
Right. Like, it's okay. Relax. Like, it happens. I don't know. I was like the poor little girl. Like, I'm going to leave now. I'm not talking to any more children.
Though I want to see where this goes as far as like the gossip talk that it could escalate to.
No, no, this woman was just, I hope she's not on Twitter and watching.
It was me. I brought my daughter. I was very pissed at Zeke, so then I was like, let's try Dak, and I didn't work either.
What you're gonna find? Yeah, what you're gonna find, Lorna, is that you'll find her on Twitter and she's got one of your tweets pinned as her pinned tweet. Like, you are her life's inspiration and you're trashing her right now. How's that?
Well, ma'am, if you're watching,
here's your chance.
My suggestion to you is like, calm down. It's not, you personally were not snubbed. The man just finished practicing. Like, this is a perk. You didn't pay. You didn't even pay. It was free to get in there. Why are you so upset? It was free.
Another thing you don't have to pay for, as far as segues go, is the open bar. Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern. We always start on time. We always start with the fieriest of fires. This week from Lorna, she is on one. Do not cross her path, or Dax, apparently.
Just
don't act like she's got Dax back.
Exactly, she's got Dax.
Dax, she's got his back.
She's got Dax, Bax, Dak.
This is good. I feel like that was gonna get. Yeah, that's gonna get real. Don't say balls.
Don't say balls.
I felt like that was going to go left. Really
don't
quick.
say balls?
Yes.
You know when you say don't say something, somebody's going to say what you just said don't say, right? Balls.
Well, it's like don't think about zebras.
Or elephants.
You can't. Now, there it is. You're thinking about it.
Casey, I can see it. It's going right through her head. She's swirling, twirling. Zebras and elephants. Zebras and elephants.
Zebras and elephants.
J Mike, let me cut you off here, ladies. Just this one time. I swear that I'll let you have the rest of the episode. But this is I'm reminiscing right now because this is exactly what happens every single time. I don't know why we exclude the ladies to have a specific episode for them, because it turns into this crazy haywire thing. We just need to invite one or two ladies on every other episode and whatnot, you know, equality for all. We need to just quit segregating the ladies because they truly just take over. Hey, Mike.
All I know is I have this strong urge to take my kids to the zoo at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know where it came from, but I'm sure that my daughters would love to go see the elephants right now. I need that in my life. Thank you, guys. I don't know what inspired such brilliance this evening, but I'm here for that. And Gabe, I don't know how much better it gets when it's ladies' night, because each ladies' night has progressively gotten better. So ladies' night part 1 was dope. And where there was really no point in us being here. Ladies' night part 2 took it up a notch, like took it up AF, if I may say so myself.
Oh,
Katie, what up?
AF, I remember that.
Yeah.
Ladies' night part 3.
I'm waiting to see who says fuck first.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
There it is.
Winner.
That's right.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So I'm just gonna shut up. I'm gonna let the people introduce themselves, and I'm about to buckle in. I'm about to strap in. This is about to get real.
Okay. Well, we're trying to outdo ourselves from the first 2 ladies' nights. That's for sure. I wanted 4. I mean, you know, it happened to be 3, and then it just so happened to be 4. Whatever. We can have them all. And we did it. So we have 3 that have already been on the show already. So we'll save them. We should really, you know, appreciate our newcomer to the open bar. To the open bar. Okay. She put together our show sheet. Very thankful for her. I don't know. I'll let you take it from here, Brandon. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I am the newbie here, so this is very fun. I'm just going to soak it all in. Just roll around like a piggish lap.
So elephants, zebras, and pigs.
Yes.
Yeah. But we haven't talked about the lions or the bears yet.
Who's ready for Settlers of Catan? I am. Let's do it. Yes.
I am willing to look further into it.
You can't play Settlers of Catan with just 2 people. So my husband and I have to have friends, which is really sad. So we're like trying to figure it out because our good friends that used to play with us, they moved.
Isn't that
part of the country?
Fun?
No,
we're the same way with our games. We're like, we don't have any 2-player games.
And then you have to teach people how to play Settlers of Catan, and that's like a whole thing. And then they have to come over like within a month to play again. Otherwise, they're just gonna forget. And then you have to teach them again. And now that sounds like a lot of.
Is there a possibility that we could just do that tonight for this episode? We could just learn the game.
Not if you want people to stay subscribed. I mean, it's really boring. So I don't suggest it.
It's not really selling.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a really boring game. I don't.
Well, to teach. It's a little hard to teach, but that is really fun. It's the best. If you love Settlers Catan, give it a shout out here on the show. Shout out.
So I mean, I haven't played much. I know that I've played a little in college when they tried to teach me, and I know what you're talking about. It's certainly a process,
I mean, everybody's done a little in college.
Yep.
Everybody explores a little bit in college, right? From Catan to Risk to Dynasty, fantasy football. It's all there. Well, Brandon, we're excited to have you. Welcome to the open door. Lorna, you're so loud. You're so loud. J Mike is probably getting so upset.
I hear that all the time.
You may have to mute because apparently her flock of fans are not going to allow us her company right now.
Yeah, no, hey. So okay, well, we were talking about elephants, and so that it made me think of the practice I just sat in on, and I got to watch one of my favorite former elephants, I guess, Bo Scarborough.
Well done.
I see what you did
Very
there.
nice.
I see what you did there.
Right.
Lorna.
Roll Tide.
I've been sitting on that for a couple minutes.
Now, if Casey can work zebra into hers, that's just like drop the mic.
I know. Casey, you hop in whenever you're ready with that.
Get to work.
Zebra. But But yeah, so what do you like? Okay, I want to ask Brandon because I'm looking at Brandon's bio, which is like the 2018 version of a resume. Like you are you are doing the fantasy football thing. Where do you stand on Bo Scarborough? Assuming he makes the 53-man roster.
Right. And so we have to see that first. I get a little bit trepidatious about guys like that because I remember getting really excited about Rico Gathers last year.
God, everybody, right?
You know, and then he went away. And so I don't want to get my heart too set on some of these guys that are right there on the bubble. But I do think that he could be the handcuff to Ezekiel Elliott. And we, didn't see Ezekiel Elliott for a full year last year. Also, he was, rather out of shape. And supposedly that's changed a little bit. But still, I think that there's a possibility. I mean, listen, it doesn't matter if you're in shape or not to tear your ACL. So I always like to have a little buffer. So am I going to draft him? Probably not. But he's the first person I pick up if something terrible happens, which, listen, I never wish that on anybody. But the point is that it does happen. So I always have in my mind who the next man up is so that the second it happens, I can act on it. So I think Bo Scarborough is going to be that guy. Very exciting to watch this preseason for sure.
I was going to say, you think Bo Scarborough's the RB2 over Rod Smith?
I think so. I think Rod Smith's more. I think they're going to use Rod Smith more consistently in that offense to try to mix it up a little bit in terms of their lack of passing weapons. Although I'm a Michael Gallup groupie and have been since the draft, so don't get me wrong, I'm all in there. But I think there's a lot of weakness there. I know that Casey over there is big on Cole Beasley, which I always have Beasles, so I don't have a problem with that either. I'm not an Alan Hearns girl. I know I'm supposed to be, but he hasn't ever been a wide receiver 1. Even when he put up over 1,000 yards, he was a wide receiver 2. I don't know why he would do it now. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But I think Rod Smith will be involved with the passing game. I just think Bo Scarborough feels a little bit more like Ezekiel Elliott in terms of game style.
Yeah, I agree.
I could be wrong.
I feel that in a totally healthy offense, Rod Smith being in for any reps is going to be more about blocking, more about opening up the backfield, or opening up the secondary, making things available for other players necessarily. I agree with you. I think Bo Scarborough is a lot more of a Zeke Elliott, physical, big, stocky, force running back than a Rod Smith. And I will say, one of the plays that caught my eye today at practice, Michael Gallup's got some hands. Like, he can reach into space and get that ball. Like, it's almost like that scene in a Space Jam when Michael Jordan was reaching his arm all the way across the court just to get it in.
For the win.
Like
nice.
this man's arms came out of nowhere, but he got that ball and brought it in. Like, I'm right with you. Save a seat for me on the Gallup bandwagon.
Yeah, I just think that he actually creates separation, which is the number one issue for Dak Prescott, right? He hates throwing into coverage, which was the problem with Dez, because Dez was like, I can get that contested catch, but Dak was like, I don't like contested catches. I won't do it. So they had to find a way to make that work. I think Michael Gallup answers all those prayers. The hands are great.
Like how her voice got really squeaky.
Man,
did it?
I don't want to throw it into a contested.
Oh, yeah. My Dak Prescott voice. Michael.
I love your Dak Prescott impression.
I'm not known for my impressions, but they are effective.
No, you sold that one. That was great.
I'm Debbie Downer this year on the Cowboys. I've been a fan my whole life, but I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like the draft that they just got done. I think that Rod Smith is going to be the guy, the number 2. I don't know that Bo's going to make the team. And yeah, he's a big guy, but he doesn't play special teams, so he's not as versatile. You got Tavon Austin that's going to get some maybe H back, definitely some receiving. I think it's going to be tough sledding for Bo, and I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Cowboys. Dak is going to have his hands full with very, very. I like Michael Gallup, but to expect a rookie to come out, especially, I don't think it's going to happen in the NFC East.
I saw a little bit of a little bit ago a comparison to Michael Thomas and how he could create separation as a rookie and was a good route runner, much like Michael Gallup. So yeah, I almost thought that I like said his name wrong for a second. I was like, wait, oh my God, like they're both Michaels and they're both 13. Like there's too much happening, but they seem to kind of have a similar track right now. I know that's probably a lazy take, but I have seen that before. I'm curious if it can come to fruition.
I don't think it's a lazy take. I think that it's a decent comp for sure. Do I think that he'll put up Michael Gallup numbers? Absolutely not. Or Michael Thomas numbers? No, that's not happening. Mostly because Dak Prescott just isn't going to pass that much. They're going to be using Ezekiel Elliott. So like it's very different playing with Drew Brees and Dak Prescott. I don't want to do a hot take here, but I'm going to say they're different.
Whoa, calm down. Let's not get the fire going.
So it's not the same. But I do think in terms of if there's someone to target in the double-digit rounds, which thankfully they're still going in, to me, I'm going for Gallup for the upside. I just don't think Hearns has the same upside. We haven't seen him go over 500 yards or score more than 3 touchdowns or play more than 11 games over the last 2 seasons. It's not a recipe for big time fantasy production. And again, especially in that offense where they're going to be relying on Zeke. I don't think Zeke's going to be very involved with the passing game, though. I think those takes are really bizarre.
Tavon.
Yeah. It's Tavon. Or it could even be Russ. It could be all sorts of people. It's not Zeke. And by the way, that's okay. Like, I'm okay with Zeke and Jordan Howard never catching passes again as long as they're in the NFL. They're still going to get over 1,200 yards, and I don't care. Like, they're going to be at the goal line. They're going to score touchdowns. They're going to do their thing. And obviously, Zeke is going to score even more than Jordan Howard. That's obvious. But the point is that I don't think every player has to do everything. And I think that's a weird thing because we give pass catching running backs a pass. And we say, oh, no, they're actually value. But then the guys that aren't catching passes but are putting up 1,200 yards per season and like double-digit touchdowns, we're like, ooh, I don't know. If they're not going to catch passes, I don't know if I can draft them. Well, I will. That's fine.
I agree with that. I just think Zeke's going to have such a stacked box because of, the 2 tight ends, Jarwin and Swaim. I was at the game, the preseason game just this past weekend against Cincinnati, and boy, does Cincinnati look horrible. They made Dallas look good. But the 2 tight ends are actually much better than I thought they were going to be, and they were getting open across the middle. They both seem to have good hands. I didn't stay for the 4th quarter. It was starting to rain outside, and my friend wanted to go in preseason, so it was fine. So I didn't get to see the late heroics, but I just think they're going to struggle. And I think Zeke is going to be stacked up and maybe get frustrated. And instead of trying to punch a woman, he punches a man.
I mean, I'm going to be subtle.
Just say it. Just say it.
Go for it.
Well,
this is not the place for Brandon to be. This is not the place for you to be reserved. This is where you can be you, Brandon.
Open.
Embrace it.
Thank
Open.
You guys.
Bar.
I feel at ease. I always diversify my drafts as much as possible. Although I seem to be drafting the same people this year, I really need to stop. Like Devontae Freeman, stop falling to me in the 2nd or 3rd round. I keep taking this guy. If Devontae Freeman falls apart, I'm really screwed. You guys, I have him in every
waiver wire pickup. Like,
oh my! But there is none because Tevin Coleman's already drafted. I'm just screwed. But I think that I do tend to highly diversify players that have had track records of issues with the NFL. And I think one of the worst cases of that is actually Jameis Winston this year. And Zeke got a pretty stern warning too. And Josh Gordon. And I know Josh Gordon's like the buzzy one that I'm really a terrible person for. But my point is, all of them, in my opinion, are one infraction away from being gone kaput. And if that happens and I have them in more than like 30% of my leagues, I'm having a horrible season. And so I do kind of get a little concerned, and mostly because it's not even that the reason why Zeke got suspended. It's that during that time he was also doing the New Orleans thing and and then the Casey story, and there's too much happening. But I'm just saying, like, I make sure that I am not overexposed to risk. And that's in a lot of things. And I think here it's not just the fact that he's going to have everyone in the box defending him, but I think there's some legitimate questions there.
So can we go back real fast to a couple things that you said previously, Brandon? One being the wide receiving core for the Dallas Cowboys. The one person in the entire receiving core that we've actually seen be fantasy relevant.
Hey,
Duval's own Alan Hearns. Now, yes, you're exactly right. It hasn't been over the last 2 years. He's been hurt. Yes. And you know what? You know what were really magical seasons? 2014 and 2015 when he was getting it in. I'm not saying that he's my choice above Gallup to be the guy there, or if there will even be a guy, whoever is Dallas's wide receiver one, whatever that looks like, whatever that matters. But I just find it interesting that out of all the junk there, he's the only one that we've actually seen do it before. So would we say that he's at least worth a late round stab, or is it like, you know what, no thanks, I'm good. That was a long time ago.
I guess because I've already planted my flag on Gallup being the guy, I'm not doing 2 late round stabs on that offense. Gotcha. So I have to kind of pick. I'm not against it. I think that listen, I always say in those weird questionable places, just get a piece of it. If it's Beasley, if it's Hearns, if it's Gallup, they're all in the double digits. Who cares? And like, if it doesn't work out, you drop them on waivers, because you're going to need to drop someone anyway. Who cares? I'm also someone that I don't believe that there are bad 12th round picks. Like, I don't call people out for that bad pick because they'll use that pick in some other way later.
I can't believe you did that, girl.
You'd be surprised.
Well, it's so funny when people want to nitpick your draft. It's like, do you really think that my draft is going to be, I'm going to end up with the same guys that I started with? That's not going to happen.
Bro, Prince Hakeem in the 13th? What are you doing?
And at the same time, you can really hit it big. That's why I go for guys with more upside in those late rounds than, to me, Alan Hearns. So, to me, this is a strategy decision. It's not that I think that someone's crazy for going Alan Hearns. But am I surprised that Alan Hearns is already dealing with a groin injury in camp? No, I'm not, because he hasn't played more than 11 games over the last 2 seasons. I mean, it's not just the production. It's also the injuries. It's also not having someone opposite him who's a veteran and able to do it. And listen, again, I don't think there's going to be a lot of production. I'm kind of, Oh.
Veteran.
My baby.
Wide receiver 53, wide receiver 73. These guys aren't expensive at all. And if anything, I kind of see this, especially without a tight end presence, Jason Witten, I kind of see something maybe similar to that of what the Rams did last year. If, Zeke can be that Gurley type and catch a lot of passes as well. But Goff was a top 10, 12 quarterback last year and had 3 dudes all around the top 40 for wide receivers. So, I could really see Dak splitting it up like that and having a Beasley and a Gallup and a Hearns kind of all and sure. Terrence.
Yeah.
God, he always gets forgotten, man.
Yeah. There's a reason he always gets forgotten.
Exactly. He forgets to catch the ball.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was about to say. He always forgets to catch the daggone ball. The other thing I want to touch on real fast, Brandon, you talked through, and Casey, I know this is not your favorite person in the world, and now he's no longer one of my favorite people in the world.
I didn't know Brandon and Casey were beefing.
Yeah. It's way back at the draft. We got it.
Yeah, it's that whole.
a lot of bad.
Watch it.
It's that whole New York Dallas thing.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. So Ezekiel Elliott, magic number being, what was that? 354. The number of Ezekiel Elliott touches in year numero uno.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the number of minutes he made somebody wait for an autograph.
No. Well,
that's a good one. The over under. I take the over.
You'd be right.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's go.
We're not still upset about that, Zeke. No big deal. No, I'm totally upset still. Anyhow, I don't see how he doesn't finish as bad as Dallas is. Can someone tell me the story where Zeke still doesn't finish top 5 running back? Because I feel like 354 touches, I don't understand how he couldn't be a bigger part of the passing game. nor do I not get how he wouldn't still maintain the number of carries that he typically does, unless games just get out of control for the defense that still isn't great and the offense isn't as potent as previous. Can we tell that story? Can we talk through that some?
Who do you want to tell the story? Kate?
No, all of us. Yeah, let's do it. We can do it together.
Like Brandon was saying earlier about the only way I could see that happening where he is in the top 5 is if he gets himself in trouble. So, I mean, other than that, if you're not worried about that, then by all means. I mean, I had him last year, and because he fell, because everybody was scared about him, being suspended, and I ended up with him and Gurley and Bell. So, yay.
Yeah, I got a story.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Philadelphia Eagles, they play him twice. And the New York Giants, they play them twice. Tell me that they're not going to be behind in both games. They're going to get their butts thumped. They're going to have to play from behind. And if Zeke isn't part of the passing game, I don't see them just running. And then, they also play the Washington Redskins, which, maybe not as big of a threat. And then the rest of the teams that they play. I don't think that with stacked box, he may get touches, but is he going to average what he's been averaging? Is he going to get hit in the backfield more often? And instead of eating and doing this, he'll be regurgitating. So I don't know. I'm not that optimistic. And the two guys in the first round of most drafts that I am avoiding are Le'Veon Bell and Ezekiel Elliott. And the main reason is just concerned for Le'Veon Bell. I know he didn't get injured last year after sitting out the training camp, but he's getting older and he's risking it again. And you're seeing guys in preseason games, they're having their first contact and pulling hamstrings or, having ankle injuries or tearing ACLs. I don't want to see anything bad happen to him, but I just think that he's just putting too much risk and fate. And then Zeke, again, because of Dallas Cowboys situation, I don't think they can air it out when they're behind, and I don't think that Zeke's gonna have an easy sledding.
We're leaving. So hold on. Sorry, all the people just left. So this will probably be a little quieter. All right. So we're talking about Le'Veon Bell. We're talking about Zeke Elliott. So I want to ask you guys, who is hot and who is cold on Saquon Barkley, the man I think should have won the Heisman?
I'm hot. I love the man on the field, and if I were to meet him, he's a nice guy. But I think that because of the weapons they have on that offense, he's somebody that will get legit touches, and we've seen already what he can do. As far as being stopped in the backfield and then making 39 yards out of nothing.
Yes. Casey, your thoughts?
His quads alone are dreamy. Just want to throw that out there.
I don't like the fact that he's a giant, but I still like him. And I still just took him in a mock draft because I did say before the draft that I'd probably end up with him on a lot of teams. And once he got drafted to the Giants, I was like, oh, fuck. But, whatever.
I think it's a guy you can certainly count on being in the passing game. Maybe not as much as Zeke from our argument from earlier. So will it be similar to Dallas? I don't know. It kind of has similarities to it, in my opinion. But then again, it has got Odell Beckham Jr. So, yeah, I think he's a guy who can get just as many touches as those top tier guys that we're talking about, and really one of the few who can do it and take the load too.
I don't think the Giants are going to be very good, but I'm kind of alone on that.
No, you're not.
Eli Manning is
not alone.
Years into being who he is.
So. I don't know. So everybody's big on all of his targets, right? So everybody's big on Odell. Everybody's big on Saquon. Everybody's big on.
I'm personally not big on Odell because I think he's way too mentally unstable. to be a good football player anymore. I think he's way too caught up in all of the theatrics and this persona that he's created for himself. I'm way too concerned about his sideline dramatics.
I think Saquon can help him out. I think Saquon's going to be a very good locker room influence. He's a very competitive guy. You know, Odell's a competitive guy. Yes, he is a psycho. I get that too, and a diva and a drama queen. But I think Saquon can help him out, and we'll see.
I don't mind Odell. I like people that are different, so I'm all down. I just think he's really good at football, and I'm into that. What I'm not into is I think Evan Engram takes a step back, and I don't think Sterling Shepard has the volume that people want. I just don't think it's there. From like a reality standpoint, this is why I didn't draft Matavis Bryant last year. I was like, that's not going to happen. Just isn't going to happen. There's also Ben Roethlisberger is Ben Roethlisberger. Eli Manning is like half of that. So like, what are we doing? You're
being generous.
I agree with you 100% on Sterling Shepard and Evan Engram. Not
and I like
volume. them. I think that they'll have big games, but overall, it's going to be a boom bust situation with them. I think the two that are going to eat will be Odell and Saquon.
And they should. They're elite talent. Like
right.
This is how football works. I mean, I'm not like reinventing the wheel here. I'm just saying that they're going to target Odell. They're going to let the guy run. And then Eli Manning's going to miss half of his passes because that's what he does. And we can all accept that that's the reality of the world in which we live. And that's okay. But they believe that as long as Saquon Barkley can do X amount of work, they'll still make the playoffs and they have a shot at a championship. That's what they're banking on. I'm not quite sure that's true, but from a fantasy perspective, it tells me that Sterling Shepard and Evan Engram are best ball only picks because I think they will be boom or bust based on Eli Manning's play. I have nothing bad to say about what Sterling Shepard and Evan Engram did last season, by the way. Their situation was horrible and they both did the most with it. So I don't want to knock them. I just don't think they're going to have that opportunity.
So I think the question that becomes, can Eli Manning still hit Odell Beckham for a slant? If he can still throw the slant, I'm totally in.
Now he's going to have to. I mean,
that's route in football.
If you want Odell Beckham,
50% of the time.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, Odell Beckham can't be good without Eli getting in the ball.
And I'll be remiss to say, oh my goodness, the chat right now just went on fire.
I was going to say, Evan Engram Deluxe in there, Mr. Jake, NFL Draft Talker, is he in there? I'm ready for him to sound off a little bit.
He's actually not, but shout out to everyone. If you're listening to this in podcast form, you are missing out on the live Tuesday night fun that we always have. And it literally got crazy. So Suge T's in the building. Shout out Suge.
Oh no, I feel like I've broken YouTube. Sorry.
It was I mean, all of a sudden, I mean, it was kind of tame at first. It was kind of tame at first. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just kind of blew up all of a sudden when we started
I'm gonna go check it out. Although, am I gonna regret this?
No. I don't think so. No. But Stepney's in the building. What up, Stephanie?
Stephanie.
You might. Kyle LeBrecht, the dummies, both the dummies are here. Kyle and Zach.
That wasn't very nice.
What's not very nice?
Do you call them dummies?
Yeah, they're the dynasty dummies. Like that's their brand. #brand.
#brand.
Like that's
brain still hasn't recovered from the bar exam. I'm sorry. I'm not here. I'm gonna mute again. You do.
Hi, Lorna.
Nice. Oh, that's good.
I had a bar exam last night. Couple Jack Daniels, some green tea shots.
Green tea shots. You're on that.
Yeah, you introduced me to those. Some IPAs. And
Riley's in the building. What up, Riley?
What's up, Riley?
Here. D-Bro, Casey, another one of your brothers in the building.
That's my boy.
And it got crazy when we started talking about Saquon's thighs. So
I like the naked Saquon where he's carrying the football and he's got all the muscles showing, and they did the photo shoot. Man, every one of those photos was like, oh, man.
It's pretty.
I think it turned you on, didn't it, J. Mike? You can admit it. He's got those thighs.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit thinking about it. We need to calm down.
You know what I liked? I liked when the Cowboys did the calendar with the puppies. I loved that. That Oh,
You're gonna have to.
That
link
one
me to
didn't
that.
come in the mail,
Oh,
Lorna.
no.
Yeah, I didn't see a copy of it.
I think it was Des who had like one puppy in one hand and he had
Oh
a
my
Chihuahua puppy in the other.
Okay, something that was brought up in the chat real quick. Sorry to pivot away from Dez. I'm done with him.
You
It was the
No.
I cared more about the puppies.
No, okay, fair enough.
Oh.
Love puppies. They're wonderful.
I like hush puppies,
Ooh, come on.
Yes, please.
Same.
Long John
Same.
Silver's, what up?
especially with a little
Y'all
bit
were
of
talking about some Long John Silver's in the chat.
jalapeno hush puppies.
Tyler,
They're not
Tyler,
cheddar biscuits, but
Oh,
they're pretty
man.
close. Those Red Lobster, I go there and I just go, I'll have all the biscuits.
That
I don't care about your fish. Just give me all the biscuits.
Biscuits.
What do you think I'm here for? What do you pay me for? Give me the
Brandon,
biscuits.
that look really scared me.
Like seriously, where my biscuits at? For real.
Yeah, no, like real.
That's too good. Kim,
My poor husband. He's seen that look too many times.
that's when he knows you mean business.
biscuits?
When we first started living here in New York, he'd do this thing where he's like, we'd go out to dinner. He's like, let's just walk around until we find a place that's right. Well, that's fine unless I'm starving. And then he'll be like, I don't know about this place. And we'll walk for like 5 miles, like, this is the one. And then we'd stop. I didn't even know what it was. It didn't matter at a certain point. And then finally, I just told him, I was like, if we do this again, I'll seriously like divorce you. Like, this is it.
It's like the How I Met Your Mother episode where they were looking for that particular burger joint.
Oh, yeah. And
Robin was getting so hungry, and every time she sat down to take a bite of a burger, they're like, "This isn't the one. We gotta go." And she's like, "No." That's like Brandon with her husband. No, this is the one. We've got to stay.
Oh my God.
Popeye's biscuits or the Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster?
Cheddar Bay.
Cheddar Bay.
Not even a question.
I don't know, because I don't go to Red Lobster that often. So give me some Popeyes.
I do like Popeyes though, but I like those with
Give me some
honey.
Popeyes.
It's a whole
You gotta
different
honey.
thing.
You gotta put the honey.
Yeah, it's a
you don't have
dessert
to.
versus
Popeyes.
savory.
But also,
They're
like the
two
Popeyes
things.
biscuits, don't they like kind of get your mouth kind of
Yeah.
And that's what makes them
biscuits
so
should do.
perfect.
right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought in another competitor into this whole situation, but I love
Good.
food.
No, I agree with that.
I'm a fat girl. I love food. We gotta talk about that. I had to eat dinner before I came on the podcast, so I don't get too drunk.
Katie, you and
Many people eat dinner, Casey.
Friday morning.
I mean,
before the practice.
we eat dinner at like 10:30 around here.
I can't hear you, Lorna.
So sorry, Friday morning before the practice. Let's get some hush puppies.
There you go. Sounds good.
Nummy.
And
Are
you
we
will
about
come
to
over
have
to my house and
a
we'll be doing some
one-round
grilling
mock
and
draft?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Can we do a 5-round mock draft?
Of
We can do it quickly. Do it quickly. We
of,
can do
of lobster
Oh,
red lobster menu items. Is that
Oh,
right?
oh, yes. I know who I'm taking.
Okay.
Who's got the 101 in this is the question.
Yeah. Where's Casey? Where's your bingo thing?
oh yeah, dude, it's downstairs. I'm sorry, I can't go down there. I get yelled at by the lady. Are you done with the podcast? Are you done with the podcast? Are you done with the podcast? No.
Listen, she knew what she was signing up for.
No, she didn't. I just started doing all this shit.
This is a recent development.
This is a recent development. But yeah, the bingo cage for our live draft on Saturday is downstairs, but it's here. It's ready to go.
So Casey, what pick do you have in that draft?
I don't know. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna do it
You're
live.
doing
That's
it.
right.
Nice.
We're gonna.
It doesn't matter where I pick from.
No.
Okay, Mike, it doesn't matter.
I like to screw people over, so.
I had the first pick in our last draft, and
Yeah, you did.
I had to wait a long time in between.
Your team was good though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a shocker.
So I know.
But you got guys, right?
I know you say that,
Yeah,
Katie.
I had to
and
drop him. I had to drop him.
I know you say that, Katie, and you're probably right that the team was fired. But I am a little curious for everyone, kind of. I mean, it changes every year. Sometimes it's top heavy wide receivers, top heavy running backs. I've even seen like quarterbacks sneak into the first round in like 2012. I remember that. But where is your favorite position to draft from in a redraft mold? Like, do you like those top 4 picks where you can lock up, the Zeke, the Belk early, or the latter half, not waiting as long? How does everyone feel? What do you like this year?
I like top 4 or final 4. I don't like the middle part of the round this year.
Does anyone ever like the middle?
I do.
Yeah.
I like to be different.
In an Oreo cookie, yes. If it's an
okay.
Oreo cookie, the middle is the best part.
So at our live draft that Katie and I did a couple weeks ago, the people we were drafting with were crazy.
Yeah.
So
they
like
were giving gifts.
You think that you're gonna get like, oh, you know, whatever. Somebody's taking like Dan Bailey in the 4th round, like then you gotta like slow your roll and be like, yeah, okay, cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'll take the money.
Yeah, when Dan Bailey goes in the 4th round and when the Jacksonville defense goes in like round 5,
She's back at our draft next
I'm
week.
licking my chops.
She'll be there Saturday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you
No, I think the middle is full of really like similar to an Oreo cookie. It's full of this wonderful goodness in the 1st, 2nd, and I think even the 3rd round. Because Brandon, I think you stumbled onto something. I feel like in a lot of either best balls or even I'm curious how this redraft season is going to go. I would love to get Melvin Gordon right in the middle there. I would love to follow that up with either, I don't know, Gronk or even Devonta Freeman, because I love Devonta Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if I'm starting with Melvin Gordon and Devonta Freeman with my team, I'm about to wreck some stuff. Like this is
you could start with Antonio Brown in the middle.
Yes. Yeah, even more wonderful, right? And all of a sudden, like I'm just about to start clowning and styling on you clowns. Like it's going to be a problem.
Clowning and styling on clowns.
You know what? Scientists say that it's physically impossible, and I beg to differ.
Love that so much.
I'm just saying because I feel like at the end of the first is what scares me, is because I have a hard time I have a hard time this year when I keep looking at the board. When I see like, oh, I'm choosing between, I don't know, taking a couple different wide receivers. I don't necessarily feel great about that. The other tier of running backs, they kind of make me nervous. So that kind of the back end is what scares me.
Yeah, I agree. Because I did a mock the other day where I was towards the end and I was like, all right, I'm going to go wide receiver and see how this turns out. And I absolutely hated it. And I know it was just a mock draft, and I know I was in there with a bunch of people that like are the same mindset that I was in, but you just gotta the running backs that come later. It's gross. I don't know.
I feel like I'm higher on people. I think I'm higher on certain players than other people, and I think I need to adjust because I keep getting them in drafts. Again, Devonta Freeman is one of them. Like, I have to stop. I am addicted to
You have an addiction.
He's everywhere. I think I have him ranked so much higher. I don't know what people are watching. Like, did they watch the tape? Did they even look at the stat lines? Because they actually weren't all that bad. It was only touchdown regression, but that was the team as a whole, which they just had the worst luck possible in the red zone. It wasn't even that they didn't get there. It was just they had horrible luck, and it wasn't even that bad of execution. It was just unbelievable. That'll go back to the mean. So I'm fine with that, which is also why I'm getting Matt Ryan in double-digit rounds, and I'm like, fine with that. I'm getting Julio Jones in the 2nd round sometimes because people are like, he only scores a couple touchdowns. Again, that's my Dak Prescott and other people in my draft impression. And so it really just kind of like melds into this really just bad impression, and that's what I do with my life. But I think there are a couple people I need to adjust. Like, I think I'm higher on Alex Collins than a lot of people. I think I'm higher on Golden Tate than a lot of people. I'm higher on Delaney Walker than a lot of people.
I love Delaney Walker.
I'm higher on Drew Brees. And I keep drafting these people over and over because they just seem to keep falling to me. And I'm like, they should be taken already. So I'm wondering who everyone else has in that area, because I think that's kind of, what you're asking there is like in the middle. I feel like I still find value because I'm still drafting the same guys. It actually doesn't even matter where I am at the draft. I seem to still get a lot of the same guys in those middle rounds. So is anyone else finding that actually their teams aren't that different at the end?
Well, I think that just kind of naturally happens too after, 3-4 rounds, maybe 5 rounds, it kind of just falls into place where the variance is like 12 players from ADP in either direction. Like it could be a value or it could be a reach to whoever at your draft thinks that was a reach. But so I mean, Drew Brees might be taken early, but that's just because only 5-6 quarterbacks have been taken so far. And you kind of have to read into that too, I suppose. But I guess I was just more asking on those first few rounds, but I can see that happening in the latter rounds where you just kind of end up getting who you want and fall into that trap of getting too many of the same player.
I think there's a lot of cute things happening right now with like, I'm trying to think of like the kind of cute picks right now. I mean, like Christian McCaffrey going at the top of the second now or in the first round.
Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, he is.
Jerick McKinnon. I'm 0% on Jerick McKinnon.
Me too.
I got him a little bit towards the beginning where he was really late.
I'll hold you back, Gabe. I will hold you back.
I know you can come in on this, but my thing is, if I can't see him do this before the season starts, I got a problem because we haven't seen him do it yet.
Never.
And don't tell me he didn't have a chance. He was there for the downslide of Adrian Peterson, didn't get the job. He was there in Dalvin Cook towards ACL. Who was better? Latavius Murray. So if Latavius Murray plays better than you, and now I'm concerned. I hope it works out. Again, I have to diversify. I can't go all in on Jerick McKinnon because it's just too scary. And especially with the injury, his ADP didn't drop that much.
It hasn't dropped.
Jerick McKinnon or LaShawn McCoy?
Well, that's just Sophie's.
That was
it's not right.
Flip a coin?
I think at this point,
how about
again, I diversify guys like this, but I would say LaShawn Collins. Yeah, Alex Collins for sure for me. But I would say LaShawn McCoy because he has not had anything happen yet.
Yeah, and I don't know.
And he'll be a volume guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
On what could be the worst offense?
I'd say that a lot has not happened to him in a bad way, that he hasn't really shown up for much. And then maybe they're just preserving him for the regular season. That could be entirely true, but it seems like Buck Allen's getting involved still in that passing game in preseason. Kenneth Dixon, the God, is looking good in preseason. So when he comes back week 5, he'll be ready to take over the primary job from Alex Collins.
I didn't think Kenneth Dixon looked very good.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't think so from what I saw, and I didn't see the entire game, but I did see that they weren't playing Collins, and again, I think that's for preservation than anything.
Yeah. That's fair.
Sorry to backtrack a little bit. I tried to say something a couple minutes ago and I didn't realize I was muted.
I'm sorry.
She's talking to herself.
No, I'm just kidding. So, okay, Adrian Peterson, he has a job again. Who's drafting him? Are you drafting him? I'm not hearing very good things about taking AP, which is sad, in a sense, if you think about the type of player he is, but also is it the smartest thing to do not to put Adrian Peterson on your fantasy team?
If I got him post round 15, I would, but I think he's going to probably be gone by then.
Yeah. I have no faith in Adrian Peterson as a fantasy football asset, which is sad because back in the day, when I first got a friend of mine into fantasy, I basically begged him to join because I needed to fill the last spot. He ended up with the first pick in the random draft lineup. And he goes, so what do I do? Who do I pick? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're number 1. You pick Adrian Peterson. Who is that?
Oh,
I mean, that
you take
was,
a kicker. You had the perfect opportunity.
You Nick Folk, find that name, draft that guy. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad because I feel like Adrian Peterson is one of those players that's just kind of born with that innate talent and skill and ability. But I don't feel confident that he's going to deliver on it. I kind of don't care. And especially he's in Washington. Their front office is so discombobulated. They don't know what to do with the players that they have. And look what they did with Josh Norman. Entirely overpaid him and then never utilized him the right way.
That's the Redskins for you.
That's where Deshaun Jackson's career went to die. which is so sad. So sad. And
So Lorna, are you saying that Adrian Peterson has delivered his final spanking?
But
Oh boy.
we're getting really inappropriate tonight, aren't we, guys?
Daggers. Man.
Let's switch to a conversation about his potential ADP. Samaje Perine and Rob Kelly are going in round 12 right now. I would imagine that he's going to go around there, maybe a bit higher. Chris Thompson, round 6. That seems like the only guy that would be of interest to me. But
That's
I mean,
too high
Adrian Peterson, yeah, still too high for Chris Thompson. But I just mean as far as a guy that I might be interested in, maybe it'll drop because of Adrian Peterson. I don't know. But I don't see from core. Can be running back at the 30, what is he, 33 years?
33.
33 years old. Yeah. So
They picked him over Jamal Charles, though. So
oh yes, you know. I heard Emmitt Smith was going to come try out.
Mulligans for 200, Alex.
I held on to DeMarco Murray because I'm in a league that's so deep that there's no one else I would possibly be interested in. Because I was like, man, if there's just a glimmer, man, I know it's not going to happen, but just give me a break. And then everyone's like, oh, DeMarco Murray's the worst. And I was like, really? Adrian Peterson's the worst. I mean, he looked bad.
Man, I wanted Alfred Morris to go there so bad.
I know, me too. A little redemption story.
Oh, I love that guy.
I think he's going to kill it in San Francisco.
Oh.
That's why I'm also out on Jarek. This is bad. I mean, he had his best season with Kyle Shanahan. This is the opportunity he was looking for. So he played great in Dallas. It was Dak that wasn't playing great enough to get him towards the red zone. But yeah, I think he might do some damage in San Francisco. We'll see.
Interesting.
It's quite a depth chart there in San Francisco, behind the running back one, Jarek McKinnon. So certainly fighting for touches. I'll be honest. I don't like the price. I've talked about this 100 times on this show. I don't like the price of where he in
I
Dynasty
don't understand.
or in I don't like it at all.
I don't get it. What is wrong with people?
I just am rooting for him a lot. So I'm certainly a fan, but certainly also probably not drafting him a bit too high because I see him around that 5th, 6th round range of J.J. Alex Collins. I think that's a little more fair than where he's at now.
Then the 2nd round.
Right now, Fantasy Football Calculator's got him going 304.
Yeah, I've seen him in
This drop
rounds,
now.
in round 3.
Thank God.
They've got him
But
sandwiched.
still, I'm not touching him.
Well, he hasn't played.
No. Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy.
I think this is even a more interesting point when it comes to the boost that we give guys for being with specific coaches. We just watched Case Keenum have the year of his life with Shermer. Shermer leaves Minnesota, now goes to New York, where they have all the weapons and
Eli.
and Eli Manning playing quarterback. And now we know for a fact, and you can call it coincidence, we can call it whatever we want to. Shanahan produces running backs. It goes all the way back to Olandis Gary? And the list goes on and on, right?
Yep.
So we know that whoever is the running back in San Francisco, like there's going to be value that comes from that. So I don't even know if that just spurs a bigger discussion, like how much do we give these change in coaching staffs or change of coaches who have traditionally done great things? How much of a boost do we give these guys for that? I know it's going to be player dependent, but I guess what do you all or who do you all see getting a boost from the change of venue or change of coach this year? Not everybody at once. Be great.
Yeah, right.
Relax.
Well, I
relax.
think traditionally it
Shermer
takes
versus-
the 2nd year. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was going to
I
say,
agree.
I think that interestingly, though, usually the system is better for players the 2nd year more than the 1st.
A la Marvin Jones.
Yeah. And so I'm a little worried. I'll say this. I'm a big Kerryon Johnson fan, and I know
Let's
he's
go.
overhyped.
Yeah.
Way overhyped.
Carry
Way
on
overhyped
my
now.
wayward son.
Great.
I
It's a
changed
great
my
name.
nickname to that.
I mean, like,
Okay.
his parents deserve, like, medals or something. It's a great name.
Yeah.
But,
you know your kid was gonna be a running back.
and your last name was Johnson, so you were like, you know what? Let's do this. You know? And I get that. But
Kerryon Johnson.
I still am worried.
Wow.
And I'll say this because Jim Bob Cooter is still the offensive coordinator. So even though there's a new head coach who's a defensive guy, that has nothing to do with the offense. And they throw more than anyone else in the National Football League.
J Mike's done.
Sorry, Mike's like dying over here.
Sir, you're gonna have to check that, Johnson.
Yeah.
Brandon
well.
killed me. Oh man, Brandon just killed me. Oh god.
He broke the mic.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
I heard you, Katie.
I don't know.
That was good. I heard you.
That was good too. Yeah.
It's good. But yeah, I guess that's the opposite of what you were asking. I think the biggest improvement, or one of the biggest improvements, is going to be Case Keenum over Trevor Siemian in Denver. I think people were very underestimated just how bad the Trevor Siemian Paxton Lynch sandwich really was.
Dallas dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. And so I just think that Case Keenum is an upgrade, and that's not really an opinion. That's just fact. And so you don't have to like Case Keenum to also acknowledge that this is an upgrade. I mean, that's just like basic. But it doesn't matter because when Peyton Manning had his horrible last season and Trevor Siemian's first season, both Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders put up 1,000-yard seasons, even with bad quarterback play. So I think that there's a possibility that they come back hard.
That'd be good.
If that's the case, that means you like Case, right?
Yeah. Well, I probably like him better than other people. I don't think he's like bottom of the barrel. I think he's going to be someone that has some good games. He's a Blake Bortles type. I win championships with Blake Bortles. This is my like lifestyle.
Whoa.
I love Blake Bortles as a quarterback. As a fantasy quarterback, that dude has had almost he's had like a 4,000-yard rushing season plus 2 that were like right there. He puts up fantasy points. Who cares if you just
If he's Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Just don't watch the game if you can't take it.
Well, you guys have to watch the game.
He's the king of garbage time.
Yeah, if you can't take it, don't watch the game. But I can tell you right now, he's going to score you a ton of fantasy points. The number 1 fantasy quarterback of the playoffs last season, weeks 14 through 16, Blake Bortles. And it wasn't even close. So, I mean, you want to know where Tom Brady was on that list? 18th.
Bad.
Ooh.
So, you know,
I don't want to know anything about Tom Brady. I'm done. I'm done with Brady. I'm done with anything that has to do with New England, please, for the love of God.
So I am someone that does the late round quarterback thing, and I play the matchups. It serves me well. So yes, I think Case Keenum's going to have good games, just like every other quarterback, and it's just not a big deal.
So how about Case Keenum versus Eli Manning then?
Can we throw Derek Carr into this mix of 3 guys?
Derek Carr.
I'm so glad I just
You don't
saw
wanna hear
Brandon
that.
take a drink. I thought I was the only one drinking.
Oh.
I'm still drinking.
I've gotten through 2 of these.
Oh, well, see, I'm almost
This
out.
is my second one.
What are you, Lorna?
Here is my fun fact.
Is that a
I
water
tweeted
bottle?
this too. Oh yeah, water bottle.
Katie's got a water bottle.
Yes, I
Just to
do.
work.
It's straight vodka.
Oh.
She went pre-open bar. She good.
So Ryan Tannehill has 2 more 4,000-yard seasons than Derek Carr. Why? Because Derek Carr has 0. You want to know what else he has 0 of? Rushing touchdowns in his career. 0.
Boom.
Even
Roasted.
Eli Manning has rushing touchdowns.
Hey.
Oh, snap.
That's terrible.
Boom. Extra roasted.
And he wears eyeliner.
And it's not a small sample size, you guys. He's been in the league for several years. This is not like, oops, it was just a rookie season. This is who Derek Carr is.
I don't know. He did well for me a couple years back when I accidentally got him.
Yeah. But again, if you're doing late round quarterback, you don't care. You just play the matchups.
Yeah.
It's fine. But like, is he the
No.
does he have a potential to be an eventual Drew Brees? That's just not going to happen.
They gave him a lot of money too.
Get that cheddar.
You have to pay all your quarterbacks now.
Is it cheddar or cheddar biscuits? I'm confused.
Hey.
Oh, you can pay me a cheddar biscuit.
I accept either currency.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. Damn it, I need wine.
All gravy.
Same.
I'm so mad.
I'm not. I don't ever want Derek Carr on my team. Really, but I do want Amari Cooper in a lot of places. Is anyone else on that train as well? I feel like that's a cute pick there, Brandon, for your terminology's sake. What's he going, like 3rd or 4th round right now? And people want him to be a wide receiver 1. Is anyone in belief of that?
Amari's going at
the
back of the 3rd in PPR leagues, according to Fantasy Foosball Calculator.
All right.
My answer is
wide
no.
receiver 16. Okay.
I think Jordy Nelson might be better than we think. Sorry, I actually don't think he's fallen off the face of the earth. I think he had a tough time last season. But I think this offense is. I'm almost avoiding everyone on this offense. Actually, the only person I'm taking is Marshawn Lynch because I can get him at like the end of I think like the 6th, sometimes 7th, 8th. I mean, I've gotten him late.
He looks good. He
and like
strong.
Yeah, he looks strong and he's the guy. Don't even talk to me about Doug Martin. Doug Martin is not a thing.
Drug Martin. Let's call him for what he is. Drug Martin.
How about like How about like minimal yards per carry Martin? That should be his name. So
regression and then more regression.
Unbelievable how his like stat lines can go like this.
But Chris Warren.
If he makes the team, that's gonna. It's.
And he have like the most rushing yards in preseason right now. Or something.
Yeah, but they're just trying to see if he's going to make the roster.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel like Marshawn Lynch is the one that's the most disrespected in terms of ADP and what is probably.
We're talking about Marshawn Lynch. Sorry, I just came back.
Yep.
Yeah. I just see he's going so late.
I love him.
All these other running backs are going so high, and then we got Lynch there.
I'll take him as my second.
Is it? I mean, okay. So where, J. Mike, you have it. Where's Lynch going? Is it that disrespectful?
You guys have guesses?
It is.
Well, Brandon was saying 6th. I think it's 5th or 6th.
I'm sure he's still in the top 24 or something.
I got him in the 7th round tonight.
7th is what I was going to think. The 7th.
12-team PPR leagues. Marshawn Lynch is going player number 56, approximately the 507 spot.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What running back is that?
That's average.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, Gabe. I'm sorry. Give me a sec.
Come on, J. Mike. A little quicker on the draw there, buddy.
I mean, I know that's
dial-up's
saying getting in the 7th round and whatnot, but I mean, 5 seems honestly kind of high. It's in that scary round of running backs for me between Jay Ajayi, Kenyon Drake, all those guys are kind of what is it, J. Mike?
RB 25.
25. So I mean,
right before him. So listen to this. Listen to this mess.
I'm listening. Say it.
I'll go all the way up to 21 and I'll work back. So Jay Ajayi's 21, Lamar Miller's 22, Mark Ingram's 23, Deion Lewis is 24. Would you take Marshawn Lynch above all 4 of those guys? Ajayi, Miller, Ingram, Deion Lewis.
I'd take him above Ingram and Lewis for sure. And then I think Ajayi and Miller are right in that similar tier.
Okay.
I'd take Kerryon Johnson over Marshawn Lynch, though.
Yeah, Kerryon's going right behind him. Kerryon, Rex Burkhead, Chris Thompson.
No.
I'd take Lynch ahead of both of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon, I think just opposite of you, because I feel like the hate in Oakland has gone so far, so far.
Oh yeah, in Oakland they hate him. He can't walk around with his face out.
I feel like Oakland. I don't think they're going to be an abomination like to have players on your team from there. I don't think this year, and I really don't have any like quantifiable, like, hey, check out this stat, or hey, look at this. Nope, just a gut feeling. Shout out to the homies from the Gut Feelings podcast.
Oh man, I just went cray on their podcast. If you saw the cuss count,
it's
it
up
was
there.
Me like a million fucks, a million shits. I felt bad because he said I could cuss, and then he's like, "Just kidding, you can't cuss."
Were they shits of joy?
I don't know what I was wasted. We don't know what happened.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad.
Gabe, you never guess who just joined us in the chat? EP
Marshawn
himself.
Lynch.
Yes. What up, Marshawn? Son of the Bay Area. No, just kidding. Jake Anderson.
Hey, we were just talking about Evan Ingram and how
Jake,
bad he is, right, Brandon?
I didn't say how bad he is. He's just not got the
Nobody
same
said-
volume.
Just say it, Brandon. Please just say it so
I
Jake
can't.
gets
Just
upset.
say
Please.
it.
Listen, I always say this. Everybody in the NFL is a professional athlete. No one is actually bad at football. That's
Can you
just
say
like the
he's
way
a
you say
bad professional?
I don't know.
Can we do
Can
that?
I introduce you to somebody named Chaz Green?
Oh, good God.
He's really bad at football.
He is bad at football.
Him and Eric Flowers don't deserve
Yeah.
their paychecks.
Jake said. Jake put in the chat, I'm leaving. Just as soon as he came in.
Is his last name Green? Am I wrong?
No, I think it's in regards to the Evan Ingram slander.
Oh, okay.
But
Evan
so,
Ingram had one of the greatest rookie tight end seasons in history. Only Ditka really kicked his ass, but other than that, Ditka kicks everyone's ass.
He,
But
he's
I
good.
think,
We just like to mess with him. That's all.
yeah. But I think that this. I'm also really low on Jimmy Graham, which I'm sure that other people will be like.
I agree with you there too.
No,
We
I'm
do
on
a
your
lot of
I'm on your side
similar-
on that.
Minority right here. Sorry, guys. I like Jimmy Graham. Sorry.
You like
only
Jimmy
for touchdown. Only for touchdown. So.
So Casey, I think you can take him in round 3 of our draft Saturday.
Oh no, I was gonna take him in the first round because I don't really want any.
You don't want to
running
risk
backs.
losing him? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm really scared that Amy might take him in the second round.
She's going to take Dan Bailey.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Now that she took him in the 4th round, she thinks she's going to get sniped, so she's got to take him sooner.
Oh yeah, because Sarah did say she was gonna take him.
Yep.
I love drafting with people that don't watch football and don't know anything about anything. It's the funnest, the most fun, if you will.
It's funny for sure, but
Especially like the Dallas Cowboys homers that are like, I'm gonna draft Dak in the second round.
yeah.
Okay, love you. You're my favorite.
Jason was getting a little upset at me for picking on some of his picks, but
I know.
it was all in fun.
Amy said she thought you guys were gonna get into it.
Yeah, once I saw that he was serious, I totally let up. Yeah, I was like, okay, all right, no problem, bro. I'll let up.
What's the scoring for this league? What's the scoring for this league?
I don't know. It's
I've had so many leagues.
basically like
yeah.
it's I don't know.
It's pretty standard.
It's pretty standard. Yeah, it's PPR 12 in that one.
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
We have 14 on Saturday.
Okay, I have a
that'll
question for everybody.
Let's get it.
All right, if every one of you had to pick a rookie quarterback to be your bench quarterback, who would you pick?
Ooh, spicy tomatoes. Okay.
Can I take Baker Mayfield with his shirt off, standing next to a car?
Yeah.
If you insist.
As long as there's a
with a dog. But I want a dog, not a tiger.
I was gonna say,
But I want a dog or zebra. I want a zebra.
There she did it.
It only took an hour, but we got there.
I got it.
Okay, so Casey's taken Baker Mayfield.
I would take Baker though, for real.
Okay. Katie, who you got?
For long term is different, but for this year, I would take Sam Darnold as my backup.
Okay.
Because it's for this year, and I think he's going to start right out the gate. And then I think that by the mid-season, with a Glass Bradford injury, we might see Josh Rosen, but I can't count on that. I like Josh Rosen better long term, but I'll take Sam Darnold.
Okay. Brandon?
I was a huge fan at the beginning of the draft process, all the way through the draft, of both Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen. I thought they were the best quarterbacks coming out of this class. I didn't even think it was close. Actually, I don't really understand what that was all about. But if I had to pick one this year who I think has actually scored the most fantasy points, I'm embarrassed, but I think it's true. I think it's going to be Josh Allen. I think he's definitely the week one starter.
Someone's got to go on Josh Allen. Someone's got to take him.
He is so inaccurate, and I hate inaccuracies.
Yeah.
I hate it. This is why I'm not a Phillip Rivers
You just
girl.
don't. Yeah, it's like
I'm not an Eli Manning girl.
It's like Blake Bortles. Just don't watch the game.
I mean, Blake Bortles has a higher accuracy than some of these guys. So all I'm saying is, no, actually, I shouldn't say that. Phillip Rivers' accuracy is fine, but what he does is he's horrible with picks. So if you, by the way, always just a friendly reminder every year, check your league settings. If you are horribly penalized for interceptions, there are people you need to avoid, and it's very important. If you're not, then it's not a big deal. Yeah, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, and there's some dudes that just it's always. But for me this year, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't know if there's any way Nathan Peterman or AJ McCarron are the starters of the Buffalo Bills. I think it has to be Josh Allen. And I think he's going to be there all year.
Josh Allen. Obviously being from Rochester, New York, like there's a ton of people that I follow and connected with that are Bills fans. So I, consequentially get a lot of Bills training camp updates and whatnot. So I think I'm getting a lot of Josh Allen insight, and I think he may surprise people. I think that people are underrating him right now.
He's learning a lot, and he's looking good.
Yeah.
He's coming on quicker than I thought he would, because he's not the hardest worker in the world, but he has already shown some signs of catching on to that offense. And I agree, he will get the opportunity to start sooner rather than later. I just like Darnold better.
Yep. Yeah. Totally fair.
And by the way, Brandon, I thought your public service announcement was, remember, folks, have your pets spayed and neutered. That's where I thought you were going, but
do that too. Do that too. Yes. Please.
All right, John, who's your pick?
I have seen many times where you've been called John on this show.
Jonathan.
The open bar.
I'm sure
Ladies' night, rather.
I do get it. Y'all call me Lorna, which is weird because like almost everybody calls me Mighty. So, yeah.
Mighty, I think it's nice you're fitting into Texas, y'all.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Twice you drop it's nice.
What if I start calling you Lorna Esquire?
Okay, so no, so I was told you can't.
You can't.
Look, don't tell me how to live my life.
Don't tell me.
I put Mighty Esquire as like my name on Twitter the other day, and one of my lawyer friends DM'd me, and he was like, "By the way, it is against like the the ethics to have that title before you're licensed." And he was like, "I'm not sure if Texas follows up on social media, but that is seriously like the dumbest thing to get jammed up on. Take out the Esquire." So that's why it says JD now. Yeah. So don't do that until like October.
I wonder what the equivalent of that is for fantasy football analyst. Maybe just analyst?
Analyst.
Like, don't do
I
that.
almost said something really mean, but I'm not going to.
I bit my tongue on that one too.
Are you going to say a name?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. J-Mike, who you got? Rookie quarterback.
This is gross. And Zach, this is for you. Zach from the Dummies. I said the other day I was confident that it would not get worse for Josh Allen, and I'm still confident that it will not get worse for Josh Allen. And here's the problem. Can we all go back to a time machine real fast? Let's go back to a wonderful year. It's a beautiful year. And there's a certain rather large quarterback that's coming out in his first seasons in 2011. His name's Cam Newton. And I'm not saying that Josh Allen is Cam Newton. Please don't put aggregators. Don't twist my words.
I would hope Josh Allen knows that we can talk about routes here.
Yes. So aggregators, relax. But let's go
Mount
back.
up.
Aggregators.
Now we talk about alligators. How did we get on that subject?
Alligators.
That zoo's calling me. It's calling. I just think that I remember when we a ton of people, and I won't say we because obviously I wasn't doing any of this then, but I remember people hated Cam Newton. They hated the fact that he was inaccurate. He's a good athlete, but I mean, is he going to be able to actually place the ball where it needs to be on an NFL level? And yeah, that's fair. He's also been a knucklehead at times, but still super awesome athlete.
Ladies' night.
But I can't get out of my head him like his coming out party where he throw for like 400 yards, 2 touchdowns or whatever it was, like out the gate. And what happens if Josh Allen actually shows flashes of brilliance in an absolutely trash Buffalo offense? That could be
in a Buffalo
money.
offense.
Right. It's hard to paint the picture. You have to squint your eyes. If I take my glasses off, I have to like do the thing where I do this, or like trying to see a little better because you don't want to look cool without with your glasses off or whatever. But like I can see it. Like I can see it to where he's not like completely atrocious, and it really hurts me to say that. And I'm just gonna stop. I'll mute myself. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You know what? Zay Jones has a heck of a catch radius if he ever gets on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually has a decent set of weapons to work with there, and
more than the Cowboys.
yeah.
Burn.
Are you so? And
All right. Man Bun, alternatively known as Gabe. Who's your pick?
The brand. Who's been left out?
Hashtag
I'll
brand.
say that.
No Rosen.
No.
Lamar.
Jackson's been left out.
Oh, Lamar.
Yeah. Yes.
Lamar's not playing this year.
Oh, he's always left out. That's so sad.
I feel so bad. I want him to, but he's just playing like a rookie.
Yeah, Lamar and Rosen. Those are the only two that have not been said to this point.
As
and shout out to Mason Rudolph, QB1 in Pittsburgh.
Hey, QB1. What happened to that?
Brandon,
talk?
you're
We
muted.
were so
You're
proud
muted,
of
Brandon.
that a few months ago.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
gonna
he's
say
gonna-
this now. I'm sorry. Mason Rudolph. My big prediction is that Mason Rudolph will throw a touchdown to James Washington in the regular season.
Turn up. Yeah.
Oh.
Former teammates doing it again in real.
Okay,
Doing things.
If that happens, everybody who just witnessed that prediction has to Venmo her a shot money, like enough for a shot.
Man, you kids and your
Cheers to
Venmo.
that.
Yeah.
Who you got, Gabe?
Green tea shots.
Green tea shots.
Kyla Lettuce still hasn't been taken, by the way, either.
That's true. You know, I like him more than Davis Webb.
I do too. Yeah.
I have him on my dynasty team, guys. It was an accident.
Just, I guess to diversify, I would certainly like to see Rosen play this year, and I think it'll happen. And I think for his personality, I think it would be good for him to be in that first year and just be thrown into the gauntlet, into the trenches, and just show what he can do. And if he, does show then I think he's going to light the world on fire. And I think the same would happen with Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold's just boring to me, but I think it's the most solid choice. Like, I think he's kind of the most well-rounded quarterback and would just do his job. But for a guy that I think could excel and really boost his already high self-esteem, it'd be probably Rosen. So, yeah. Give me Rosen.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I was just very curious of who was high on any rookie quarterbacks, and if you had to take one, who would you take? Thank you.
Is Patrick Mahomes still considered a rookie?
Yes.
There you go.
Riding with my homies.
I think if they haven't played a professional snap, then yes, they're considered a rookie.
Yeah, well, he did. So
Yeah, he did.
So
Not in the regular
Sort of.
fantasy season.
Well,
he may
Week 17
not.
Regular fantasy.
regular fantasy, nice.
I will say this. I know Casey was there. I know Katie was there. Like
was
at the
lit.
NFFC. Like, was Patrick Mahomes not one of like the hottest guys there? Like
Jamal Williams, man, I think he's way hotter.
I don't know. I didn't see him.
I love him.
I like girls. So I
Jamal
don't know.
Williams is the sweetest, cutest butt. And
me
he's
tell
got
you
the
something.
sweetest, cutest smile. Those pearly whites that he
I
flashes.
don't know.
His eyes light up.
Cortland Sutton. I know he's not a quarterback, but out of the guys that were there, he was the
Cortland
charmer.
Sutton's good looking
No.
too.
He was a charmer.
Do you know who's got the winning smile out of anyone? Jalen Smith. That kid, like, he could blind
Me.
Gucci Mane with his teeth. And if y'all seen Gucci Mane's teeth, you know what I'm talking about. No, Jalen's got a like megawatt smile.
Well, maybe I'll get to see that on Friday.
Hopefully.
That'd be nice. I like nice smiles.
Same, right? It's always nice when they're nice, and it sucks when they're not.
Take care of your mouth.
Put some respect on your mouth.
Put some respect on your mouth. And this podcast is sponsored by Quip. I'm sorry, every other podcast is, so I just figured you guys were just...
If you can hook that up, Casey, we
Did
would
you say
appreciate
Quick
that.
like Nestle's Quick?
No, I said Quip like the toothbrush, but I mean, also I like to drink chocolate milk, so...
Yeah, it's better than the strawberry milk.
Ugh.
Strawberry milk's really gross.
I want all this food take and
Chocolate
drink.
Chocolate milk is really good with Kahlua and Bailey's in it.
Ooh, you're
With
right.
ice. With
With
ice.
you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Have to check that.
You can't
You
drink
don't
it,
have to-
and you
Yeah.
can't drink it slow if it's quick.
Snap. I hear
Kinda
it.
sounded like a rap line.
We're going old
Oh,
school.
shit.
commercials.
Slow if it's quick.
They might use that.
We're making it modern. We're refurbishing old commercials.
Hey, we'll have to get some. We'll have to get some for Saturday.
Yeah, there you go. Instead of green tea, we'll
We'll take some quick.
I don't know if they even sell it in stores anymore. Right next to the canned spam.
What happened to all the
Ooh.
athletes with the got milk thing? What happened to that? Milk
yeah.
mustache. Now Andrew Luck has a real mustache.
Oh shit!
Bro. Okay, so I've never heard Andrew Luck talk before. It's
You
just
hadn't?
not. No, it's Andrew Luck. Like, I don't,
Wasn't
I
it
don't
amazing?
listen- I don't listen to his like post-game like interviews, but I did last.
He's so dreamy.
Last night. No, girl.
He's the opposite of that.
Nightmare. He's so nightmare.
Let me just say this.
Neanderthal man.
Once I heard him speak, I was like, that
makes
Captain Andrew Luck account makes
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
more sense.
Yes. Those memes are so perfect.
Yep.
He just, you know.
Oh shucks. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, poor Andrew. Well, Andy, look.
I
I was upset to see the Patrick, the captain or admiral Patrick Mahomes. Someone tried to run that through the stream. No.
No,
Didn't work.
No.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
It's you just don't get it. All right.
How about the fact that he looks like Uncle Rico and then he's quoting it in press conferences?
Yeah. He knows. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's got to stay relevant somehow because he's about to lose his job for good.
Oh, fire!
Oh,
Mighty Madness.
my. Can you expound on that, or are we just gonna leave it? We gonna leave that there.
I think he's going to end up being one of those players that's like battled an injury for so long that they just never consistently saw the field again until they just never saw the field again.
Man.
I think he's hit that point. I really do. I
Dearest
think
mother.
I
Today
think
might.
I think that the Colts are very comfy moving on to Jacoby Brissett. I'm not being biased, but like Jacoby Brissett had some like very nice passes to Steve Ishmael last night, who in Syracuse.
So you like his smile?
But I think that they're ready to move on from Andrew Luck. Like I don't see him really being like a major component on that offense moving forward. You can quote me on it.
So we've got to send her Venmo shots. If
Right.
10 years
As soon as Brissett's name,
Where's my bold take? I need some shots. What can I come up with?
I was just about to say before we clock out of here, let's hear just it doesn't have to be the hottest of blazing, but just give us something that you're just like, you know what, this is happening and this is not something that's uber popular.
All right, I got one. I shared it with Matthew Berry, and he was like shaking his head, like, seriously, who are you?
What?
By mid-season, Nick Chubb will take over for Carlos Hyde as the #1 running back in Cleveland.
Let's go.
That's
I'm
hotter.
okay with that.
Hotter.
That's not hot enough. Nobody's saying it.
A week after when's their bye? Week 5.
11, I think.
You know,
Okay, never mind.
Katie, you are right though, because right now I feel like Carlos Hyde has been getting, I guess, with these last 2 preseason performances for whatever they're worth. It does feel like people are very, pro Hyde, if that's a stance you can take. I feel like people just feel like he's not really threatened by either Duke or Chubb at this point. So that's probably fair.
And I think that Chubb is getting more and more comfortable. He's letting his natural abilities shine instead of thinking too much. He is a thinker. He is a strong competitor. And I don't know if you saw the game the other night, but he was just getting ready to break one. He had like maybe 8 yards, and he was like a toenail away from breaking a big one. And the guy like tackled him, and he slammed his hand down on the ground. Like, I know I was right there. Like, I think that he will get that. He'll get there.
Katie, the chat was not feeling the spice of your take.
Okay.
Jake said that's not hot, that's expected, and that was a yellow mustard hot take.
Okay. All right.
I said hotter.
Matthew Berry thought I had horns on my head and was crazy.
But then you get too hot and people are like, whoa, girl.
Log out.
All right, yeah. I got another one then. John Brown's going to be the wide receiver 1 in Baltimore.
There we go.
Oh, shit.
How high, Katie? How high?
How many yards you mean?
Million.
Wide receiver what?
Oh, I don't know.
Boulder.
He's going to be the wide receiver 1 in Baltimore. Over Crabtree.
3 overall.
Man. All right, fair enough.
I like that one. I thought about saying it.
All right.
I thought about saying it.
That's spicy.
Stupid co-hosting duties, letting people go first.
So was that at least horseradish, J. Mike?
I mean, I'm not getting. There's not a lot of backlash right now.
Okay.
No backlash. So I think you're good.
All right, cool.
Casey,
Yo.
what you got for us?
Man, Jordan Wilkins. Is that hot or is that not hot enough? He's hot.
Jordan Wilkins, what?
He's gonna be top. Give me a number here. We don't know.
10.
A top 10 guy. Thanks, Brandon. 2 heads are better than 1. We got this. Top 10. Jordan Wilkins. Top 9.
Brandon
Running
just
back.
that rope on out. Here you go, little fella. Here's
Yeah, go. Take it. Oh, no. I got Jordan Wilkins. Top
10.
9. 9.8.
10.
fair.
Yeah, top 10. We'll go top 10. Top 10. Top 10. Jordan Wilkins.
Brandon, what you got?
Drafting Mark Ingram in the 4th round is the definition of insanity.
Wait, you don't like a guy missing a quarter of the fantasy season?
Right.
I think it even gets worse than that. He's only back for 1 game. It's against Washington. Then he has a bye week, and then he comes back to the trifecta of death in terms of run defenses. It's the Baltimore Ravens, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Los Angeles Rams. So you're actually not going to feel good about draft or playing Mark Ingram until week 10. And that's only if Sean Payton doesn't hate him even more now, which he's always hated him. If you remember him putting him on the bench when Mark Ingram was 1 touchdown away from $100,000. Do you remember this? And he like flipped out. Like Mark Ingram was like, what? And they were like literally on the goal line. And Sean Payton was just like, nah, bro, you're going to sit right here. And he cost him $100,000. He's just, I don't know what the deal is, but he's always
Slept
hated
with his
Mark
wife.
Ingram.
Oh,
Maybe. I don't know.
Walk it like I talk.
So I would, So I know that people are saying, Mark Ingram's a steal. I don't know what they're looking at because it's certainly not the schedule.
I like it.
Not to mention Jonathan Williams is going to take his job, right, Katie Flower?
Fire.
You're muted.
Can't hear you
Muted.
Flower anymore.
Muted.
You're muted, Katie.
Katie gone.
Uh-oh.
Katie gone. You gone.
Katie.
We can't hear you.
Katie.
Lorna, before you gotta go,
wait.
2 things. 1, we need your hot take. The other, Brandon Baxter in the chat asks, how many games do you think Andrew Luck plays this season?
Okay. I am going to give Luck 6 games.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
That's the number that feels right. I think Luck's getting 6 games. I So that's it. What's my other hot take?
I think that
That might qualify, but
I mean, that was a hot take. You did a hot take to your crew.
Like, dead ass. I think that's it. Sorry, is that word allowed?
Everything's loud. Fuck yes.
Yeah, I just after watching last night, I literally felt like I was watching the demise of Andrew Luck's career. I don't think it's happening for him. Yeah, that's it.
You
6 games.
You just busted a lot of people's dreams right there with that one.
Well, I mean, hopefully I saved them some heartache. Hopefully they're going to take my advice and it works out, or hopefully they don't take my advice and I'm wrong. Like it's one way or the other.
Before your connection goes, Lorna, you have anything you want to shout out real quick?
No, you know what? Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Thank you all so much. I know a lot of you who may or may not know me at this point, like know what I've been going through with law school and everything. And I'm so glad it's behind me. Like y'all are the real MVPs. Like just stick around and we're going to have a very fun football season. And if any of you live in Dallas, make sure you hit me up when you're going to games because I will be at every single home game.
Go
Let's
on.
have a beer. Yes. And go Cuse. And Georgetown still sucks. Always. Like 1,000% worth noting. Georgetown still sucks. And Des caught it.
Has been proven that Des has caught it. Yes, that happens.
Thank you, Marty.
And that, as what I wrote on my bar exam, that Des caught it. Because I didn't know an answer to a Texas law question. I didn't.
Amazing.
You probably got it right. They were like, yeah, you know.
Well, I mean, I did get that right, obviously. But one of the 12 Texas law essays, one question I didn't know it. The answer was not in my arsenal of knowledge. So I thought, well, I can either leave this blank or I can write about something that I know for a fact is true. So I wrote a 2-part analysis on the Des catch. It was the 3 steps after possession theory and the football move theory. So I'm hoping that my test didn't get sent down to Houston for grading. Hopefully it's a Cowboys fan that grades it and that they say, you know what, she doesn't know shit about oil and minerals, but she knows her shit. So that's what we're hoping for.
The person grading is looking at it like, you know what? He sure as hell did, girl. You tell him A+, done.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm a licensed attorney in October. And I swear to God, if I am, I'm going on a tour teaching mediocre law students how to pass bar exams. But anyway, thank you. Yes, exactly. Thank you all so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I want to be on the next one. So let me know and I will stock up on my drinks and enjoy football season, everybody.
Peace, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Bye.
Gabe, you got to get Gabe.
Can you hear
Jake.
me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes. We
Gabe,
left off at Jonathan Williams. Would you like to say anything about that?
Just real quick, Chad mentioned him in the UTH podcast tonight, and I said I hope he's got the opportunity because he in college was better than Alex Collins.
I think so.
And I like what Alex has done to help his happy feet, but I'm looking forward to seeing Jay Will get a shot.
Hey, you got a Penguins reference in there. We are at the zoo after all.
Boom.
Good job. Yeah, I do hope he gets a chance to. I always was bummed that he was oddly released from the Bills.
Yep.
What, J Mike, were you about to ask me a hot take of mine?
Jake said you have to say one before we go.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, we mentioned him already. And I just can't give him up. Kenneth Dixon.
Yeah, I heard you slip that in earlier. He said Kenneth Dixon to God. No, man. I heard you. Just let it die, man. Let it die.
He's only gonna play 12 games, and he's gonna be he'll be top 20 running back. Yeah.
Do you like
We're going
Christian
for
Michael?
He does. He has to.
I didn't know. I was never on that. Okay. Everyone's saying that.
Ladarius Green.
Okay.
Get him.
To be fair, you
Ooh,
mentioned
dude.
Rico Gathers earlier, and I
Light
think
him up,
Darius Green is the equivalent of Rico Gathers at this point. Though I'm a Rico Gathers fan, but I think that hype is similar to that of
Gathers
Darius
groupie.
Green.
Brandon, light him up.
The God.
Yes.
Okay, Jerick McKinnon, top 5
take-
running back.
Oh man.
All right. I'm not even. Gonna
Wait,
keep
you
that
said
game.
Jake. Hold on, you said Jake was asking for one.
Yes, he said
Is
he
he
needed
still
one
there?
from you.
He's
Yes,
still there? Okay.
He is still here.
Let's go in the other direction then. Adam Thielen
Whoa.
dropped outside of the top, 30, 40? You want me to keep going?
50, 60.
He's gonna fight you, man. He's gonna fight you. All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna slide my name real swiftly. So I'm very confident. Melvin Gordon, mentioned him earlier. I'm a big fan of his. Melvin Gordon's about to be RB1, the RB1. I say that. Katie, don't you give me that sly AF look there. I see what you're doing. MG3 behind what is potentially the best offensive line, and I've been stewing on this for a while. Behind the best offensive line that he's going to see, the best offense that that Los Angeles, has probably had since the LT days, the Damian Tomlinson days. And I'm not scared of Austin Eckler. Austin, look at me in my face, Austin. You don't scare me. You don't scare me, Austin. You've got no hot sauce for my main man, MG3. Go sit down, take your 5 carries a game, and kick rocks, Playboy. MG3, RB1, that's my word.
Also, stop fumbling. Eckler has a real problem.
Get a life, Austin.
That's right. He fumbled away their season last year. He's
Facts.
the reason why they were in the playoffs.
Facts. Tell him, Brandon.
But it's
Anyhow.
such a good
I'm here to support
story.
you, J. Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate you, girl. My girl. I like that. Yeah, I'm also a big Devonta Freeman fan. And Jake's going to continue to taunt me about the fact that I traded him to him the other day. But yeah,
Was that the
MG3.
Was that the Tevin Coleman trade?
Yeah, that trade that I'm still fine with because I love all 3 of those guys. I love Devonta Freeman, but
What was
anyway,
it? Tevin Coleman and who?
Tevin and Anthony Miller. Tevin
right.
Coleman, Anthony Miller, 2 guys that I love a lot in a dynasty league for Devonta Freeman. So anyhow,
Brandon might be upset with you now. Not sure.
I don't know. She just had my back. We just air high fived. I think we're good.
Listen, I mean, Coleman is obviously a serious talent, and he's not even really a handcuff. He's just part of the offense. So I get it.
Just flex worthy. And I've loved Anthony Miller for way too long, and now everyone is just kind of coming aboard the train. So anyhow, yeah, that's it. Take us home, Gabe.
Oh, okay. I've had a blast tonight. Ladies' night, V3.
Yes.
I don't know. I think we need to do it more often. We need to somehow infiltrate the ladies' chat. Reach out to Katie. You can, extract 3 ladies for us per month. Or you know what? Let's just bring them on whenever we want, J Mike. This was great. I loved it. Brandon, it was good to talk with you. Casey, as always. Casey, I wanted to be honest. I needed more Casey wine tonight.
Well,
I need more wine, Casey, tonight.
There's a problem because the girl who gets me wine is mad at me because I'm on podcast.
And you've been busy lately.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
Then I'm getting in
Podcasting.
trouble.
And Katie, as always, nice to have you on as well. You
Nice
3
to be
ladies,
had by you, Gabe.
Hey.
And Jake.
and let's do plug time. Katie, you just mentioned you were on UTH tonight. I know that's kind of your stomping grounds there. What else would you like to say?
Just listen in next week. We've got our special annual UTH Jeopardy, where I combine fantasy football with Jeopardy questions, and we got some song categories, some movie categories, some book categories. Yeah, it's going to be fun as fuck, and I'm going to be giving them double points if they answer the song questions by singing a portion of the song. So that'll be fun. But that's UTH Dynasty.
Scary.
Yeah, exactly. Chad, Jordan, and Tim will. Tim actually has a pretty good voice, especially when he goes like high pitched.
Why did we
on
not
last
make
week,
that
right?
happen last week?
I don't know why you didn't, but you should have.
Falsetto.
Tim, we're coming for you, my
There
man.
you go. Yep.
I can second that Jeopardy episode. I've listened. What year running is this for
Last
Jeopardy?
year, actually, the recording got like it did not come through. So Jordan won, but we didn't get to publish the episode. So this will be our 4th annual UTH Jeopardy.
Okay. One of my favorite episodes annually from UTH. So if this is the first time you're hearing about it, it's a good place to start. It's a very, very entertaining. And the questions that you come up with, Katie, you were so creative. Like,
Thanks.
Seriously awesome.
I have a good time doing it.
Yeah. Okay. And Casey, what you got?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank my beautiful fiance for letting me be on all these podcasts. I'm going to play this part for her so she knows that I love her, and I'm so very sorry for all the fantasy football that she has to deal with. Now, I just started writing for Fighting Chance Fantasy a couple months ago, so I'm doing all that jazz right now. It's very exciting. I'm not like the coolest person in the world when it comes to writing stuff, but I try to be a person for the peeps. So there's that. And I've been guesting on a bunch of podcasts lately because why not? But I love yours the best.
Hey,
The best.
The first lady, first
lady
and
forever.
always.
it's true.
Number one
And-
in your heart.
And shout out to you, Casey, for getting into, because you haven't been on the pod since all this happened. Shout out to you for getting into the writing game, the podcast
Dynasty.
game, the married game. Okay,
Game.
On the way.
Got a lot of
congrats
stuff
to
going
all of
on.
that.
And
Gosh,
then
there's
deciding
so much.
and then deciding to come back, put all those things on hold and slum it with us. That's just kind of
It's not going to work out very well for me in the next couple of minutes when I leave here, but it was worth it.
Thoughts and prayers, Casey.
Thoughts and prayers. I'll let you guys know if I survive.
Brandon,
Yo,
howdy. Could you give us a cute plug?
Sure. You can follow me on Twitter at BrandonHerFFB, and at some point I will get good at Twitter and actually tweet what I work on. In the meantime, I just say weird things. But I do write a lot of articles for The Athletic and CBS Sportsline, and I do videos for Fantasy Alarm, and I still do radio for SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio when I fill in for Fantasy Alarm as well. We're not doing her fantasy football this year. First time ever.
that tweet had everybody in their
Oh my
feelings.
God. I had to mourn for like a whole day.
It's been a mourning period.
I mean, there are reasons why I'm all into this fantasy stuff. So you guys,
you're one of our faves.
Ashley, Courtney, and Brandon.
Yeah, so I'm sad my sister's voices aren't being heard right now because they're actually really good at this and very smart. So that's my only regret, really. But it's very difficult to run a business. I don't enjoy it. So I'm really glad I don't have to run a website anymore. I'm not going to lie.
Guys,
be free. Are you looking at my
Would you
puppy?
like to plug the schnauzer?
Yes.
That's my little boy. We just got him on Mother's Day. We adopted him. My husband's mentor, life mentor, passed away about a year ago. And this is Rufus. That was her dog. Someone else took him in, but ended up kind of maybe illegally breeding chihuahuas in their house and stuff. We're not quite sure what's going on. So we were like, you know what? We'd love to have him. And so he became ours. So now we have he's our babe. But it's like he's been here the whole time. He never leaves my side. This is about as far away as he gets from me.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I love him.
Easily
He's
one
12.
of my favorite schnauzers because usually they are very vocal.
I know, he never barks. They just sit here the whole time when I do radio and everything else.
great.
They just sit here on the couch. We also have an English toy spaniel. She's a little shy though, so she's not in the camera right now. But she looks like a cavalier, but with a smushy face and smaller. She's hilarious. But she's only 3, and then he's 12, so he's kind of like Uncle Rufus.
So kind of like I don't know, Philip Rivers compared to I don't know, who's in year
Mike
3,
Williams?
Derek Carr.
Yes.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I'm feeling Rufus a lot more right now because he's got the FaceTime going with us, so it's good.
Yeah. No,
Appreciate
he's
you,
into
Rufus.
it. He's very social. Yeah, he doesn't think he's 12, so it's a perfect example. Yes,
That's the
where he's
best.
like, "Hey, I'm here, kids. I'm here. See, look at me. I'm hip.
That's
with
what
the
my
kids."
15-year-old dog was. Oh man, she was like,
Like, imagine Philip
Trying to
Rivers
keep
talking
up.
to Baker Mayfield.
can't keep up.
What do they talk about?
Well, Philip Rivers is like talking into his helmet, thinking people can talk back to him. Didn't that happen?
Well, he is
Anyway.
the best like GIF guy. I will
Fact.
miss that.
Very
All
fair.
right. Well,
thank you guys.
those are the dog takes.
Those are the dog
And
things.
J Mike.
Bravo.
Shoo-wee. Golly, ladies' night never disappoints. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. Jake's still out here with fire in the chat.
Is he
What up,
mad
Jake?
about Thielen or something?
No, he's good. but we do need to bring up real fast before we do sign off real fast. I know another thing. I apologize. He wants to know when we're going to schedule our live open bar draft. I know
Right,
I
we
just
kinda
told him
committed
that
to that, didn't we?
Yes, I told him that you have been on your grind lately with actually scheduling people weeks in advance. This is not really part of the brand.
Yeah,
But you've been
I was
on that.
real confused by that. Isn't
Yes.
it like usually like this day of?
Yeah, well, when you get people that are on about 4 different fantasy football websites slash shows, you kind of have to plan a little bit more in advance.
Yeah.
It's a fact. So we've got to figure that out, Gabe, at some point.
I know
Okay,
Casey's blowing up.
It's probably going to have to be
Jesus.
like, it is. Okay. I don't know, J Mike.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
We'll have to have a special edition next week. I don't know, Jay. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
All
We'll
right.
figure it out. On Twitter at JMICCheck, at JMikeCheck. My life was made complete because Brandon and Marion Lee followed me back tonight. So I think that I can just log out. I can log out of life, and I'm good to go.
Log out of life.
Yeah, I'm good to go. But again, thank you guys for joining us, whether it's podcast form, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean. The list goes on and on. You can check us out there. And of course, on YouTube Live, Tuesday nights. The season's here. So like Gabe said, we are in full effect every week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, never late. Actually, that's not true. Always about 15-ish minutes late. But it's because we're having so much fun with our guests, and we come on when we come on. And thank you guys for rocking with us. We are incredibly appreciative and grateful for each and every single one of you. So thank you to our guests. Thank you. We appreciate you all very much. Gabe, take us home. Home.
It takes time to make cocktails, J Mike. So we're just giving them, 10 to 15 minutes to, 20, 25 minutes, just to
Shout out to Drambuie.
That sound exotic.
Exotic AF, girl. Exotic.
I guess that league is that a listener league of sorts, even though our listeners are
We'll figure it out on Twitter.
people who create
No
podcasts.
LFO or anything?
No.
LFO.
Did you
Can we get can we get like a elephant? Yes, we're gonna have an elephant draft with us.
All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us. This is always a blast. We are taking off next Tuesday, at least.
Forgot about that. My bad.
Yeah, for
Oops.
shout out to my lady, of
The
course.
gearing of all time.
Oh, so you can take nights off. All right, I see.
Look, she's taking the night off. Homie takes the night off too. But and
Y'all gotta-
I don't
y'all
know.
gotta keep
Apparently
it
that
going.
means yeah, J Mike. Apparently J Mike's taking the night off as well next week. I told him that he should, throw a show together, but I don't
Hey man, this back to school grind is
Yeah,
killer.
you gotta rest up.
True.
And you had a migraine last week. He's got a lot going on.
My wife's a teacher, and all of a sudden a soccer coach now. I've got a first grader, kindergartner, and one at the daycare, all girls. Like,
Well, I was gonna say, and one on the way.
no,
It's
like you
"Whoa,
said,
boy."
thoughts and prayers. Holla at me. I
Mhm.
need it. Help. Anyway, yeah. So we're taking next week off. I forgot about that. Sorry.
That's why we have to throw a special episode together for the draft if possible.
Yes,
I don't know.
you're right. We'll figure that out. That'll be actually a lot of fun. Anyhow, go
Cool.
ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm done.
Thanks for everything. I'm the FF Man Bun. That's the brand, baby. I'll be coming out with my own Baker Mayfield, and I'm gonna crush him. He has no idea what's coming at him. And that's about all I have to say. We'll see y'all next week, possibly with a draft, maybe or definitely the following week with an actual episode. But aside from that, put your drinks up, ladies. A little cheers to the old camera. I know you're new to this, Brandon, but this is right here. Yep, that's perfect. Great job. You did so good.
Empty.
We'll see y'all soon, possibly next week. And deuces.